Okay, so we're going over with Matt. He wants to do an ADU, and we're just recording this. So then, if you want to do an ADU, here are the steps to create an ADU, which is an amazing way to unlock a lot of cash flow in a property. The only catch is a lot of people do it wrong and they don't think it through when they go this route. So here we go. We're going to say this one more time. So, what you need, step one, if you want to do an ADU in your property, is what you want to do. The first thing is one, you got to get with a local architect. You want to know what is the designated area that you want the additional unit. ADUs used to be just called mother-in-law quarters, right? That's where you would put your mother-in-law, and then she would slowly wither away, and then she won't be your mother-in-law, but she'll at least gives you good café con leche every morning. So anyway, one, do you have the space for it, right? Two is basically this is going to be like a separate one bedroom, one bath unit. So with that, first thing you need to do, you can get with a local architect, or before you start that, you want to get with your planning department or the building department. There's a thing called the planner on call, right? So the planner on call, you give them a call and you email them your parcel ID number and address. Or you could go to the office and you say, hey, this is the parcel ID, this is the address, I want to do an ADU, what are the steps to make this happen? Every local municipality is a little bit different, but I'll give you the general steps. So once you know the building department gives you steps, or the planning department, whatever handles that in a local municipality, then the next thing that you want to do is you're going to actually get with a local architect. That architect is going to have to draw up what they call MEP plans. That's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Because that's what you need for any kind of property. You need, where's the mechanical? How are they getting AC or window unit? Remember, window units count, so you don't have to reroute an entire ductwork. If you can reroute, perfect. If you can't, then they could do window units, because you're also going to have to sub-panel it. So the electrical, you're going to have to sub-panel from your actual panel that you have. So with the sub-paneling, you're going to have to get with the electric company and say how much is that going to cost for sub-paneling, because that's a fee. You have a separate meter now, right? So you're going to get with them. The other thing that you're going to do is you're going to, on the planning and building department, they're going to have electrical inspections, right? So they're going to check out your sub panel, make sure everything's worked. But now you got to get a bid from an electrician to see how much he's going to charge to sub panel, and he's going to go off of blueprints. So those blueprints, that's what you're going to actually get done with your architect. The same thing with mechanical. Now the cheapest route is just get window units, or if you could reroute some ductwork. The only thing is you're going to have your own thermostat. Just factor these things in. Then plumbing, if there's not already a shower or anything else there, like ADU, you're going to have some kind of plumbing. So you're going to have to tie it into the main. You're going to have to get something complete, right? So there's another thing. So now you got cost is blueprints. Well, first you got to see if it's possible, right? So then you got cost of blueprints. If this is only if the ADU is within the structure. Does that make sense? Now, you could do ADUs that are new builds, that are add-ons to the structure. Does that make sense? Matt's here.
What do you mean by in the unit?
So meaning if you got a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, and you want to just now say, hey, I'm going to make it a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 1-1. So that means it's under the roof. Under roof, you're creating an ADU. Under roof. That's one way. Another way is like people would take sheds or extra garages and they say, well, now I want to make the garage an ADU. Well, the only thing is now you have to do installation as well. So you got to put that down. Well, how much is the installation? You have to make it an actual structure now. So you got to insulate it, put electrical, put mechanical, put plumbing in it. The roof's got to be sturdy. So you can't just go off of like what we're doing on this property on Sherwood, that it's a manufactured home, and we did an extension. Well, technically, that's the same thing that would happen on an ADU. So we actually had to rip off the old roof because it was a screened-in enclosure roof. Even though it's a strong roof, it doesn't really matter. We should have been able to just frame it, but they make you reconform everything when supposedly it's going to be living square footage. Changes the entire dynamic. So you can't assume, oh, it's a screened-in enclosure, it's a roof. Well, now we can make it an ADU. Now, some people make it illegal ADUs, right? That's totally different from a legal ADU. So those are two factors to think about. Now, if it's not what they call detached ADUs, that means it's detached from the structure. So that now means, hey, I got a house over here, and now I want to make a 1-bedroom, 1-bath ADU to the side, or 2-bedroom, 1-bath to the side of it. You can do that. But now here's the factors. You got to basically build a mini house. So that's rough-in plumbing. Well, first of all, site plan. Now you got to get a site plan. You can write that down. You're probably not going to do it on this property, but just to factor that's in, you would have to do a site plan. You have to get soil tests. You have to get fill dirt. You're going to have to tie in your wastewater connection piping. All these items you're going to have to tie in specifically to this property. So it's just like a new build. It's no different. Foundation, framing, roof, siding, all these items you have to factor in when you're dealing with an ADU. So hopefully this kind of helps if you're watching this, which these are kind of like the off-the-cuff steps that you want to think about. Now, you can create a lot more value in a property, yes, but you have to factor in the cost. Is the squeeze worth the juice? I think that's what they say, right? So, all right. Hopefully this helps, but that's kind of the steps. Any questions related to this?
I guess for my personal, problem that I'm having is the structure already has, or it's an detached ADU, or it was a garage converted to living space, but not permitted.
Okay.
So
he's renting it out, but it's not permitted.
Yeah, they just did it off the books or whatever.
Okay.
So when I go to buy that,
it's not going to count.
Yeah. So when I go to sell it after I rehab everything, how do I, would I have to call the planner on call and say, hey, can this even be done? And if not, then I have to tear everything out and just make it a garage again? Or,
I mean, it can be done. That I know for a fact.
Okay.
It can be done. That's not 100% an ADU can be done.
Okay.
That's yes, and yes. The catch now is to say, okay, how much is it going to cost for it to be up to standard? Because it's got to be up to building code standard. Because if you sell it, you're going to have a hard time selling it because it's going to say, hey, we're producing X amount of revenue. The only thing is it's illegal. It's not permitted. So you can sell it to somebody else cash. That's kind of why they want a cash deal on that transaction. So these are just factors that you got to think about. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Hopefully this helps anybody watching this as well.